List of things that keep people from reaching their dreams or goals is, now if you surround yourself with people that are negative, people that are not doing much of anything, they will not take you serious. Hello, welcome to Nature to Tea, or welcome back. A channel where we talk about healthy options when it comes to food, lifestyle, products that we use in our homes, on our bodies, and so forth. Now in this video, I'm going to talk about things that are stopping us from reaching our dreams or goals. Most of these are personal things that I personally went through, as well as things that I experienced through my jobs working with children, as well as adults, with job coaching, teaching, as well as life skill coaching. Most of these are personal experiences, as well as things that I've learned working with people. So number one of most common things that stop us from reaching our goals or dreams, number one is lack of self-awareness. Basically, knowing the self, what you're capable of doing, your knowledge, your strengths, your weaknesses, your physical and mental challenges, what you desire, what you enjoy, and specifically what you desire to do without the influence of others. For example, you want to do something because you want to do it, not because your spouse, your parents, or your teacher wants you to do it. Having a good sense of self-awareness helps you discover not only who you are, but what you're capable of doing, what you like to do, your strengths and weaknesses, and knowing yourself enough to remove yourself from certain situations or surroundings that may be triggering to you, as well as understanding your emotions, your feelings, and how you influence others, as well as how others can influence you. Also, the ability to tune in your feelings, being able to recognize how people see you, even if you don't agree, but know that your perception of yourself might be different from others, and vice versa. So being self-aware helps you not only hone on your skills and knowledge and experience and desires, but also help you know the challenges that you have that may deter you or may create obstacles in the way, and how you can maneuver through those obstacles. Being self-aware is very important when you have big goals and dreams. Number two is worrying about people's thoughts about what you're doing, who you are, or their perception of you. A lot of cultures, especially mine, they're big on comparisons. Comparing people mainly within the family, but sometimes it could be neighbors or people in the same school, or just people that are well known. This cousin of yours is doing great. They're going to medical school. They're doing this, they're doing that. How come you can't do that?
Junior, come downstairs. Yes, Dad. I'm reading on WhatsApp. 5-year-old girl. Youngest to ever become a doctor with PhD in Nigeria. Hey! My friend, both of you are born with 2 arms, 2 legs. The same brain, and you are being here useless potato. Useless caca.
When obviously people are different, even twins can be very different. That fear of what people may say about you can be a big setback when it comes to achieving a goal or a dream, because you're too focused on people's thoughts and feelings and what they're going to say or do, instead of focusing on the prize, what you're trying to achieve, what you're trying to do, and get caught up trying to please those people that you're going to lose track of what you're trying to do and achieve. Achieving something requires focus and time on whatever that might be. So if you're busy focusing on something else that has nothing to do with what you're trying to achieve, it's just going to make your goals or dreams way harder to achieve. Number 3 is lack of self-belief or lack of confidence. Now, with anything that you do in life, whatever you are trying to achieve, whether you're trying to graduate with some kind of degree, whether you're trying to be a content creator, entrepreneur, whatever you're trying to do, if you don't believe that you are capable of doing it, that's just going to hold you back a lot. And lack of self-belief or lack of confidence a lot of times stem from traumatic events that happened to us. That includes how we were raised, how we were disciplined, the kind of environments we lived in, or any life events, experiences that might have been traumatic, or just the lack of role model from one's parents, like having parents that put you into different sports, different activities to promote self-discovery. Self-belief and confidence is very important, because with whatever you are doing, if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't have the confidence, it's going to be hard for you to be competent in whatever you are doing. Number 4 is giving up too soon. Bigger success requires time, effort, and dedication. A lot of people give up too soon before they even get to where they could have gotten to because they don't have the patience to wait. And also sometimes it's the environment that they're in, surrounded by people that don't believe in themselves, and therefore they project those insecurities onto them and discourage them. The negative Nancy's, Debbie Downers. The bigger a goal is, the more time it requires for it to amount to what you're trying to attain. Which leads to my next one. Number 5 is your environment. Now, environment is extremely important when you're trying to do something that is of a higher achievement level. Anything that society deems as success, both your physical and mental environment plays a huge role in attaining anything that is of high standard and deemed as success. So if you're trying to do anything that's quality, that's good, that requires time, dedication, and that is or will be leading to a successful something, it requires you to be in a mental state that is very positive, and environments that shows people who are doing well, people who are successful or working on big dreams and big goals and things like that. Your surrounding does play a role in how you perceive things and how you think. If you're surrounded by poverty, it is harder to think big, dream big, and think about big successful businesses when all you're surrounded is by that. Same with your mental surrounding. Now, if you surround yourself with people that are negative, people that are not doing much of anything, people who are okay with mundane things, getting paid minimum wage or barely past minimum wage, they will not take you serious. Like if you talk to them about doing all these big things or all these big dreams that you have, all you're going to hear is projection of their own inability to think big and wanting big for themselves. So who you surround yourself with both mentally and physically is very important. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with millionaires, people with big businesses doing very well, are very successful, and success can be in many forms. It doesn't always have to be wealth, but for the most part, wealth is part of it. Because wealth is a means to afford things, not only to live a productive, but also a healthier life. Success can also be spiritual success. It can also be attaining peace and happiness and not having to worry about rent and bills and all that. Like people who decide to go live off the grid somewhere that they build with their own 2 hands, build their own water system, electric system, and they don't have to worry about struggling to pay their bills, growing their own garden. That too can be success because they're doing what they love doing. And there are people, especially people who are closest to you, that see you as a competition. Beyonce's, the Michael Jackson, only they can be successful, but nobody close to them that they know can be successful. So it's easy to hear a lot of discouraging things, people in your circle very close to you that don't take you serious, or fail to even acknowledge what you do, or fail to realize or see what you do. That can be discouraging. If you're surrounded by certain people, especially people closest to you, you don't have to discuss certain things with them. Just let them pretend that they don't see any of the things that you're doing, even though they are. But just leave it at that. But it's never a good idea when you are surrounded by people who sees you as a competition, that downplays everything you say or do, invalidate everything that's important to you. It's never a good idea to share your plans, your desires, small successes, big successes, or anything good in your life. It's never a good idea to share those things because they will always find a way to discourage you or create self-doubt in whatever you're doing. Try to be around like-minded people if you can. People who have similar ideas, who inspire to do big things like you, and people who are encouraging, people who are positive, people who believe in themselves, because most of those people will not be negative or say things to try to shut you down or try to discourage you. So be very careful about your physical and your mental environment. Number 6 of some of the things that keep us from reaching our dreams and goals is unresolved trauma. Unfortunately, a lot of people go through traumatic events, some worse than others. Some people have complex trauma. Addressing your trauma help you start the healing process. If you are living in a fight or flight state because of your trauma, you're constantly worried. You may have issues with anxiety, self-doubt. You may have issues with low self-esteem, PTSD, trust issues. All those put people in survival mode, in a state of fight or flight mode. And when you're in that state, you cannot utilize the creative part of your brain. And the creative part of your brain is basically is what you need to create, to think clearly. So if that is tainted with problems and issues and traumatic things, it's going to be hard to be creative, to do the simplest things, to problem solve, find solutions to your daily problems. Addressing your trauma helps you not only to reflect on your feelings, but also find healthy ways to cope with your feelings and anything that troubles you. It also helps you with self-perception. Instead of internalizing the identity that people gave you, it helps you reflect on your feelings and be able to have a better perception. Unresolved trauma can have a big impact on your self-esteem. Most people that have trauma or had traumatic event that affected them sometimes do struggle with low self-esteem because they were thought that they were not good enough, they were a burden, and just things that will make people feel bad about themselves and have a low self-esteem. So it is very important to work on your trauma. That way you can be on a healing journey to not only get out of the survival mode, but learn ways that you can overcome your trauma and thrive. Also, when you are on a healing journey, it is easier to let go of giving meaning to what people say and what people do. You take that power back. You have the power to do whatever you want to do, regardless of whoever told you you can't do it or whoever did whatever to you. Healing is a very important thing to do if you're trying to achieve anything in this world, including happiness and peace. Number 7 is ignorance. Now, a lot of people want to do great things in life. However, if you don't know the basic things you need to know to achieve that, whatever goal, whatever dream that is, if you don't know whether you are capable of doing it, how to do it, and the correct information that you need to learn that thing and do it right and successfully, it's going to be really hard to get the dream accomplished. And a lot of people don't do enough research before they start whatever they want to start or whatever they want to do. They just go by what people say, and also sometimes wrong information from the internet or social media platforms. Know your sources, vet your sources, make sure that they are accurate. Also have information that is not biased. Things work out differently with different people. Just be mindful. Do your research, be open-minded, and really look into what you're trying to do, the best ways to do it. Look at different platforms. Diversify your research instead of just believing one thing or one person. Number 8, list of things that keep people from reaching their dreams or goals is a limited mindset. As long as you are a reasonable person, let the sky be the limits. Like, no one should say you cannot do this because you're too short, you cannot do this because you're too tall, you cannot do this because, I don't know, whatever the reason they want to give. As long as you know yourself well enough, you know your capability, be willing to do what it takes to get to where you want to get to. Never think any dream is too big for you. Whatever you want to do, as long as you know within your limits that you're capable of physically and mentally, spiritually doing it, go for it. Don't let anyone tell you that you cannot do this or that. Don't be limited to your surroundings. Nothing comes easy, especially things that are big. Look at people that are far, people that are successful. There's really nothing different from you and them beside the fact that they're there and you're still working to get there. You may surpass them one day, who knows? But you really have to believe in yourself. Don't just go with whatever people tell you, because after all, you know yourself better than those people. So don't settle for less. Have big dreams and go for it. You just have to be persistent. You have to believe in yourself and close your eyes and ears to other people that are negative, especially people who are closest to you, and do what you got to do. Sometimes some of the most successful people have zero support when it came to their immediate surrounding. And, you know, that can be a driving factor in going hard with whatever you want to do. Anything can happen as long as you're hardworking, you're willing to put the work, the effort, and the time. Follow your dreams no matter what. Just because things get hard doesn't mean anything. You just have to strategize and keep going. Most things that are good for you and that create success are not that easy unless if it's something that's passed down from, you know, your parents. But true success comes with real work, consistency, and determination. Anyway, this wraps it up for my 8 list of things that keeps you from achieving your dreams. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative. If you did, don't forget to give it a like. And if you're leveling up to become a healthier version of yourself, you want to learn cool and healthy recipes when it comes to food, when it comes to beauty recipes, when it comes to household cleaning products, personal care products, almost anything and everything that you use, and you want to make your own using more natural ingredients, make sure you are subscribed to this channel, and don't forget to hit that post notification so you'll be notified every time I post a video. I hope you have a blessed day, night, evening, wherever you are, and I hope to catch you on my next video.
Now which kind life I never see. I carry God so I fear nothing. Steady increase in the commands.